So the stories of my ministry go as far as 2000. And I think at that time I was 5 years old. And some of the stories are actually told to me by my mother and my father, which are my idols and my greatest inspiration. So when I was 5 years old, we were staying in old Kanyama, in deep Kanyama down there. And there was an unfinished church building which I started organizing kids my age and some older, which I started preaching to them and talking about Jesus, praying for them. My father is a pastor, and so I grew up seeing my father preaching and praying for people. So I started doing the same. And one of the times when we did that, one of the kids actually came to me and told me my grandmother has been paralyzed for 3 months and cannot walk. And he asked me if we can go to his house and pray for the grandmother. I remember that guy's name today, and he's in ministry today. His name is Matthews. So we went to his house and prayed. I prayed for the grandmother, and immediately the woman that hadn't been walking for 3 months started walking on that very day. And the next time we had our church, small church, we had older people coming to the fellowship, and I was 5 then, so we were preaching. I can't remember what I was preaching because some of these stories are told to me by my older siblings and my parents, and I can say that's how the ministry started. That's how people, got to know that I think there is something about this boy. And when I was 9 years old, I've already mentioned my father is a pastor, so he went to preach in South Africa. And we were just left with my mother and my older siblings. And on one night, I think it was an attack. And again, some of these things, I can only remember a few things, and many of those things can only be told of what happened. So on that night, I started feeding. And after that, my eyes rolled up and my body was cold. My mother started praying because she's a praying woman. She started praying. My family prayed. And actually, my mother told my older siblings to go and call for a pastor who was a neighbor. They called for him. He said he was sleeping. And so they prayed for me, and I was unconscious for 1 hour and some minutes. And after a few minutes, 1 hour and a few minutes later, after they prayed, I came back to life. And it was those things that, my parents were telling me, there's something about you. And when I was 9 months later, I started leading a choir or a team that today has transitioned to what we call the role. And some of the people that were in that team are still with me today. So when you hear WASHY and the Raw, it's a team that started a long time ago when I was 9 years old. At 12 years old, I started playing the keyboard. I learned how to play the keyboard. At 14, I learned how to play the drums, and the music journey was growing. When I was 15 years old, in 2015, not 15 years old, in 2015, I was part of a singing competition called Dream Zambia, which I came out second out of that competition. And I believe through that time, the Lord was just teaching me certain things. And then later, the Lord continued to do many things that He's doing today. In 2016, I should say, that's when I heard for myself. I heard the call of the Lord. I heard the Lord calling me into ministering. And this was away from just being a pastor's kid, but it was a deep vision that I was in when the Lord started taking me through what He has helped me through in my life. And He told me that I saved your life. I was with you at 5. I saved your life at 9 so that you can come and minister to people. And so in that vision, I was in a plain ground where I saw a lot of people in departments, blind people, lame people, dead people, mad people, and the barren people. And the Lord said, I have put my word in you, that when you speak this word, these people will come to the saving knowledge of Jesus. And it was at that time when, after I had those visions, I told my father that I want to go to Bible school, and my father wasn't in support till he told me, pray again. And I prayed again, and I was so sure that I wanted to go to Bible school. So in 2017, I went to Bible school in Durban, South Africa, which I did a part of my Bible school, and I came back. In 2018, I joined Rema Bible School here in Zambia, and I graduated in 2018 from Bible school. And I should say that I have seen the Lord doing great and mighty things. I have seen the Lord healing the sick. I have seen the Lord opening blind eyes and making the lame walk through this ministry. And he keeps on doing great and mighty things. So from 2015, after I left the singing competition, there was a lot of pressure on me to release a song. And when I want to go to the studio, I had actually a lot of people that were saying they want to sign me. But after praying about it, the Lord said, it's not time yet. And so it was only in, which year was that? Last year, 2019, last year. That was last year when I had a leading. The Lord said, you can now do music. And so I released my first single, Takwaba, which is an amazing song that just describes how that there is nobody like Jesus. I don't know, but I think the message that God has put on my heart is to just explain in detail how that there is nobody like Jesus. And on the 27th of last year, on my birthday, with my twin brother, of course, we released a song with the natives. We released it on the natives. It's called Mulibakulu, which is a song that is still ministering to people. And we have heard so many testimonies of God healing people through that song. And just some days ago, we released another song called None Like Jesus, a very, very beautiful song, which if you haven't downloaded, you should download it. It's on the natives. And the Lord is doing great stuff even through that song. So I am just glad that I have this opportunity to serve the Lord and to just bless many lives across the world. And it's a privilege, and I'm grateful to God. And yeah, I am WASHY, and that is my story.